Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Did y'all get a chance to watch Worst Neighbor Ever on Netflix? I made a post about it in the post section, right? Y'all need to go watch it. For me, episodes 1 and 3, that messed me up. And in both episodes, in my opinion, it had the same issue, which were the police. They failed those families. They really did. First episode, Frances, she was the issue. She was a friend of the family. She moved back. The lady let her stay with her and her husband. They had their issues. She basically tried to take over the house. And one day she popped off on the grandchild. And you know how grandparents are about their grandkids. It's not going to happen. So she let her know, don't you ever talk to my grandbaby like that again. And as a matter of fact, we're about to leave. And when we get back, you need to be out of here. So she left, and she like a year later she moved in the house across the street because it was almost like a compound. All the family stayed really close to each other. And so she just, for some reason after that, she just had a hard on for that family. And she could not stand the husband, Dave, because he was black. She did not like him. So she keep on terrorizing them. They calling the police. They letting them know, hey, this lady, my grandkids sitting outside playing. Here she is across the street mowing the grass. She ain't got no clothes on. I don't want my grandbaby seeing it. The police tell her, well, man, but really ain't nothing we can do because Kentucky law, some say that that's not against the law, whatever. So she keeps on calling 911 about everything. They outside, they looking at me, they did this, they did that. And one day something happened to where the wife decided to go over there and confront Frances. Baby, they get to tussling. They done fell all out. The husband see it, he run over there, break it up. Frances then called the police and told them that the husband and the wife came over there and jumped her in her house. Ma'am, that is not what happened. And she wanted the lady arrested. She wanted her arrested and to go to jail for 18 months. Now, why 18 months? I do not know, but that's what she wanted. So their situation went on for a minute. So they finally decided to, look, we're just going to put you on probation and hopefully this will just be over with. Oh, no. Frances was not satisfied with their probation. She had it set in her mind that since the husband worked down at the jail, that everybody was conspiring against her, and that's why that lady wasn't getting locked up. It was just a mess. And the husband, Dave, he was the type of person, he didn't like confrontation. He was more so, look, just let her talk. We just gonna ignore her. They couldn't ignore her because she wouldn't leave them alone. She kept messing with them. Every other day she's calling 911 to the point one of the 911 operators gonna say, yeah, we know who you are, we know the situation, we know what's going on. So since everything was happening like they just couldn't catch a break, the husband decided, you know what, we're gonna put up some cameras because no matter what we say to the police, they just kind of brush it off. So maybe we need evidence so they can see that we're not being extra. So while he's out there, she done called the police again. They doing it, she doing it. Y'all won't arrest her because he working down there at the jail. But today I am not taking it no more. She decided to take her butt across the streets. Mind you, they are minding their business. The wife is in the kitchen cooking. The husband outside putting up cameras. She go into the house, let one off that hits the lady in the nose and come out through her eye. Lets two off, I know, on the husband. The neighbor said they could hear shots. The auntie, she stay right next door, I think. And she come outside, she starts screaming because she see the husband laid out. Somebody get calling 911. This lady came over here and we told y'all about her and y'all won't listen to us and none of that. So they just hysterical. So mind you, during all the situations that was going on with Frances, the daughter decided that she was no longer gonna let her child come down there because she didn't feel like it was safe because Frances was so erratic. Her and the mom kind of fell out because the mom was like, I'm the grandmama, I will protect my grandbaby, but you know, hey, once she gone or things get better, then the baby can come back. So the mom and the daughter, they stopped talking, but Dave, he never stopped talking to the daughter, which was like, she wasn't his biological daughter, but he had been in her life forever. So they always talked. And so they called to let her know what happened. And she just, you could see it in her face. She was like, not my Dave. Not him, because they let her know he didn't make it. But your mom, they rushed her to the hospital. So she was like, I think she was 35 weeks pregnant. She said that she just could not go. She didn't want to go, but if he's gone and they don't know what's going to happen to my mom, I need to get there in case she passed away too. So they finally make it there. She get a chance, they tell the mom what happened. She get to see her mom, whatever. They did arrest Francis, but I feel like if they would have just taken this seriously, a lot of that could have been avoided, because everybody loved her. I think they say it was over 800. It was a lot of people at his funeral, because he was just that loved. Even when he went to work, the prisoner was like, hey, what's up, Dave? Dave here. They really loved him. Now here you come starting issues and just to turn these people world upside down. So unnecessary. And then when you get to episode 3, when Miles and Melina and they have this issue with JT, him and his family got put out. The people who buy the house said, well, don't nobody supposed to be over here, because he kept coming back to the house. One day he get into it with Miles, and Miles said, well, you don't supposed to be over here anyway. And that right there, that's what got the ball rolling, because he felt like the new owner and Miles was like the same person, basically. So he keeps harassing his family. He done threw bricks and rocks into their window 23 times. They have gotten a restraining order. They called the police every time. One time the police pulled up, JT was still there. Instead of the police listening when they say, we have a restraining order, he does not supposed to be here, the police tell them, y'all break it up. You go stand over there. Y'all acting like kids. You're not listening, officer. So JT said when he is putting those handcuffs on him, he said, I'm coming back. And when I come back, I'm going to get him. He out of here. They arrest him for a threat, right? He go to jail. He should have stayed in jail until they could have a trial, which would have been the next year. No, he get out 2 days later. You know why? Because they said it was so many people in the jail and they didn't know how long it would take them to get to certain cases. So they just start letting people out. Some people even bailed out for $1. They failed that family. So it got so bad, because once he got out, the neighbors were like, what is JT doing out here? Why is he over here? He don't even supposed to be over here. The family's like, you know what? It's not safe. We're moving. Because they had got to the point where they had put plywood on all of their windows just to be safe. But JT let them know, I'm going to burn it down. So they decided to move. So they moved. They felt safer. It was more calm, more peaceful. So one day Miles decided that he's going to go over there and help the people, get the house ready to be sold. We're going to go over here. We're going to fix it up, paint it, put some flowers down. But who show up? JT. And the neighbor who would usually sit out and watch the house with Miles, he said that he could see JT and he heard these shots going off, but he just thought that he was shooting in the air, because once Miles saw JT, Miles took off running. JT took off after him, and he was just letting them off. Once he finished, the clip is empty now. He leaves, and the neighbor is on the phone with the police saying, I don't know what he's doing, but he shouldn't be over here. He's just letting it off. And when he zoomed in and saw that it was Miles, he lost it. He said, that's my neighbor. That's my neighbor. We told y'all about this. The wife had already talked to Miles, and she said it was just something in her that made her feel like something is not right. And mind you, she pregnant. So she decided, I'm going to go over here. She said when she get to her street, she see it's roped off. She see the coroner. She see this yellow tarp laying on the ground. She knew that was her husband. Do you know how messed up that is? Everybody failed them. The police, the county, the probation officer, the city, everybody did. But what Melina decided to do, she said, basically, my husband's life is not going to be in vain. Because instead of y'all feeling like our calls were so petty, you should have been doing your job and listening to what we were telling you. So she filed a civil suit against Alameda and Oakland. And she won. Oakland had to pay her $450,000, in Alameda County had to pay $1.95 million. Then they go talk to his mom, and she said that was her one and only child. And one day her and Miles were having a conversation, and they realized that they talk every Tuesday. So since she can't talk to him, she writes a letter to him every Tuesday. And she says she's been doing it for the last 5 years. But when I tell you episode 1 and episode 3 will have you reaching for the tissues and trying to get that knot out your throat. Yes. And episode 4 was crazy. Because, ma'am, this is not Breaking Bad. How you pretend to be over somebody's estate, because what you really doing is just stealing money from people who can't really defend themselves. They either old or they're disabled. And you decide you gonna get you an assistant, and now you mess with all these other people that be, hitting them lines and stuff. Y'all take this man's life and then try to dispose of his body in a barrel and try to melt it. What? Yeah, if y'all haven't watched Worst Neighbor Ever on Netflix, go on over there. Even if you just watch episodes 1 and 3, check it out. Get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to you later.